The draft is coming, and with 2 first-round picks in hand, everyone's got an opinion on what the Cowboys should do. Some want trades, others want proven veterans, and a few are banking on hitting gold with college standouts. But here's the thing. When you need everything on defense and you're sitting at picks 12 and 24, the decisions you make now could define the next 3 years at least. So, what's the smart move? What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the NFL Playbook Cowboys. Guys, if you're enjoying these breakdowns and want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe. It takes only 2 seconds, but it helps this channel grow and keeps the content coming. Now, let's get into it. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I'm not trading that top pick, 12. That's where you get a playmaker, someone who can step in and contribute immediately. We've actually had decent success with the 12th pick historically, and just last year, we got Tyler Booker there. So why mess with that formula? Keep the 12th, grab a defensive superstar if one's sitting there, and let's build from that foundation. Now, the bottom pick at 20, that's a different conversation. If there's a deal on the table that makes sense, maybe you explore it. But here's what I need to see first. Real moves in free agency. Not bargain bin shopping, not bottom fishing like we've done before. I'm talking about guys who can start, guys who can hit the ground running. Look at what we did with Javonte Williams. Nobody was super excited when we signed him, but Clayton Adams had a vision. He saw the violence in his running style, paired him with solid guards, drafted Booker, and suddenly we had an identity on offense. That's the kind of calculated risk-taking I want to see on defense. Speaking of defense, let's talk about what we actually need. If you were to tell me we got the best linebacker in the draft, I'd be happy. Best pass rusher? Great. Elite corner or safety? Sign me up. When you need everything, you can't be picky. The difference between picking at 12 versus picking at 20 or 25 isn't always talent. Sometimes it's about readiness. The guy at 12 has played more. He's smarter. He can step in immediately and contribute. That's what separates those picks. Here's my defensive priority list if everything's equal. Pass rush first, corner second, safety third, linebacker fourth. But that doesn't mean I'm passing on the best linebacker in the draft if he's sitting there at 12. Football isn't that simple. You take the best player who fills a need, not just the best player, period. If we're drafting a quarterback at 12 when we already have Dak, that's not best available player. That's stupidity. Now, a lot of people keep bringing up trading for that guy on the West Coast, Max Crosby with Osa Odigizziwa, but the real issue is cap implications. You're looking at a $16 million dead money hit immediately if it happens before June 1st. Then you've got to account for Odigizziwa's $35 million cap charge, though you can restructure that and push money down the road. Is it worth it? Maybe, but I'm not giving up both firsts for anybody. If it's a first this year and a second next year, now we're talking. That's the kind of deal I'd do in a heartbeat. The thing about Odigizziwa that people need to understand is this. I don't think he's getting traded. He's everything you want in a locker room guy. Young, versatile, solid player. Yeah, I'd love him to be more dominant for the money, and I see some Tyrone Crawford vibes there. But unlike Crawford, who switched positions every year, Odigizziwa has some stability. You can restructure his deal, move money around, keep him as part of the foundation. When you've got a plethora of talent at one position and you're lacking elsewhere, sure, you look at options, but trading him isn't the move I'd make. Now, let me talk about something that's been driving me nuts, linebacker development. Someone asked if we'd be better off getting a veteran linebacker in free agency instead of drafting one since they take longer to develop. On the surface, that sounds smart. Give me a guy who's been in different schemes, who understands the position, but let's pump the brakes. You want like Damone Clark? No? What about Kenneth Murray? Still no? Then maybe just draft one. There's no foolproof formula here. The draft landscape this year is interesting. People keep talking about Caleb Downs as a safety. If he's there at 12, I'm running to the podium. Some say pass rushers are more valuable than safeties, and generally I agree. But the reality is, if there's an elite pass rusher at 12, he probably shouldn't be there. Before you throw Micah Parsons at me, he was a linebacker, not an edge rusher. If teams knew he could rush like that, he goes second or third overall. We got lucky there, and good for us. But typically, elite pass rushers don't fall to 12. Elite safeties might.
Now, what if a wide receiver is available at 12? The Ohio State connection is real for me. Those receivers know how to play at the next level. Carnell Tate from Ohio State, if he's there, I'm in. Even if someone told me he tore his ACL, I'm still in. These Ohio State receivers just have something different about them. But would I pass on a great offensive tackle to take him? That's tougher. You've got a $60 million quarterback who turns his back to the left tackle every single play. Protecting him matters. And maybe Tyler Guyton develops into a right tackle down the road. So yeah, it needs to be defense, but I'm not ruling out offensive line if the right guy falls. Honestly, free agency is more important than the draft this year, and that's not something I say lightly. We don't have a second or third rounder next year. We gave up picks for Mingo, who's been useless. We gave up picks for Trey Lance. Someone tried to give the Jonathan Mingo trade an A grade the other day, and I almost lost it. How is that an A when we didn't make the playoffs? So we just lost a third-round pick. So here's what worries me about going after proven commodities. We need grown man positions on defense. Defensive line and linebacker are not places where college kids typically come in and dominate immediately. It's rare. So if we're in a 2 or 3 year window, which everyone keeps saying, then we've got to go for it now. Take one of those picks, get a proven player, and build from there. Maybe you crush free agency and you don't even need to give up picks this year. That frees you up to draft best available need at both spots. Our defensive coordinator situation is fascinating. Out of the 6 guys we've interviewed, Jim Leonard is the one I'd lean toward. I even mentioned it in the last video as well. He's young, innovative, not someone who's been fired from multiple head coaching gigs. We've seen what happens when you bring back older coaches who've been removed from coordinating for years. The game evolves. I want someone who's seeing the newer stuff, someone who can bring a fresh perspective. This team needs a fresh start on that side of the ball. Continuity matters too, and we haven't had any on defense. This will be the 4th defensive coordinator in 4 years. Donovan Wilson will see his 4th coordinator. DeMarvion Overshawn, same thing. For great players like Micah, it doesn't matter. Just go rush. But for developmental guys, it absolutely matters. He needed stability to grow, and he didn't get it. Now I wonder about Marviost Lufau going into year 3 with 3 different coordinators. At some point, you need consistency to develop young talent. The draft process is going to be wild. Pre-draft press conferences are my least favorite event. Jerry and Steven get up there, won't tell you anything real, and you get all these hypothetical questions. Like, could you pass on a great offensive player when you need defense? And Steven will say they're sticking to the board, mentioning CeeDee Lamb or whatever. But when your defense gave up 30 points a game and was historically bad, I can't imagine the grades being close enough where you'd go offense. It's best available need, not best available player. Best available player could be a quarterback when you don't need one. So the bottom line is this. We need so many things that whoever we take at 12 and 20, we should be okay with it as long as it's defense and as long as the guy can play immediately. That's the luxury of having 2 first-rounders. You've got options. You can trade up if someone special is there. You can trade back and accumulate picks. You can stand pat and take 2 immediate contributors. Whatever we do, it needs to work because we don't have the luxury of patience anymore. This roster has too much talent to keep wasting seasons with the worst defense in franchise history. Time to get it right.